Welcome to the Painted Toe. Today we're going to learn how to paint a Bohemian birdhouse. Hey, it's Rose from the Painted Toad, and I teach people how to take time out of their busy lives to make time for art and self-care. So I'm all about taking time for yourself and creating. Stop putting it on the back burner. So today I'm going to teach you how to paint a Bohemian birdhouse. And it's going to be bright, it's going to be colorful, it's going to be lots of fun. So I'm going to switch over here and we'll get started. I'm just using a small 5x7 canvas board. And first things first, I'm going to just kind of sketch in with some paint. You could also do this with a pencil, but I want to work quickly today because I'll be teaching another art class in about an hour, my weekly class. And so I'm going to paint in just the basic shape here of the birdhouse. And this is going to be really whimsical. So kind of wonky, kind of fun, not worried about perfect lines and things like that. And if you're on, let me know you're here. Say hello. How's your day going? It's Friday. My kids are super excited that it's Friday. We got a big birthday party to celebrate this weekend. My daughter Juliet is turning 11. So that's pretty cool. And it's going to be like one of our first parties after we've gotten our vaccinations and all that. So it's kind of exciting because we haven't really done any parties in, well, in a year, really. Okay. I am just making this up as I go along. I have no idea what I'm doing. So sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes that can be a bad thing. And I think it's going to be a good thing today. We'll see what my imagination comes up with. So sometimes, and I recommend this for drawing too, sometimes you just have to put the pencil to the paper, or in this case, the paintbrush to the canvas, and see what you can come up with. I feel like this birdhouse would be fun if it had maybe a little porch here for the birds to hang out on. There we go. Okay, I think that's a super cute shape, a little bit different, whimsical, fun. So let's get painting it. I want to do really bright colors because I'm kind of doing this. The theme for this painting is Bohemian, and Bohemian is it's kind of like doing your own style, or at least that's what it's characterized by. Bohemia was like over by the Czech Republic, so it's actual group of people, but the style itself usually involves bright colors and different whimsical, creative, free spirit type things. So if you look up the style and things in fashion, it's all about skirts, like long flowing skirts and blouses and just kind of free. So I'm going more for the, oh, what would we call it? I guess more of the decorator style. So in the decorator style, they'll use bright oranges or bright reds, bright teals, yellows, like really mustard yellow, lots of bright and fun colors, knickknacks, all sorts of cool things. So we have this is going to be our little Bohemian birdhouse for our free spirit birds. I don't know what kind of a bird would live in this one. I'm trying to think. which birds are free-spirited. Does anyone have any suggestions? When you think of a free-spirited bird, what kind do you think of? I'm just using a flat brush here, filling in the background. I'm using turquoise. It's just artist acrylic, artist loft brand, which you can find at Michael's. So I'm doing a super bright blue background. Sometimes it's nice to just paint the whole background and, then paint your image on top, but then you have to mask it, especially when we're working with a deeper blue like this. So I'm just going to paint carefully around my birdhouse. And if I mess it up, we can always fix that. So it's like no big deal. Can always fix. I'm not exactly, you can see here too, see how some of that black got pulled in? That's okay. Not worried about that. I can always let it dry, paint over it later. I might be adding details to that anyways. So I'm just going to fill this in back here, and then we'll get to work on the rest of this little house. Yeah, I'm just picking up some black, which you can't let things like that stress you out, especially since I'm trying to do this quickly. I only have about an hour or so before I have to teach my other class. So, hoping my goal is for this to take an hour or less. There we go, almost done with the background. If you're joining me, it's Rose from the Painted Toad, and I am painting a Bohemian style birdhouse. So lots of bright colors. I don't know, usually I have things that I can talk about, but tonight I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what to talk to you about tonight. I guess I could tell it like, okay, so I have to paint birdhouses because I I would love to do a birdhouse in my yard or a bird feeder, but we have 5 cats, and I just feel like it's an unfair situation for the birds, because my cats would probably just stalk the birdhouse all the time or the feeder. So I do have my chickens though, so they are my birds. They're not afraid of my cats. But sometimes I wish I could have a little birdhouse. I don't think it's fair with having 5 cats for that poor little bird family would have moved in. So what I'm going to do, you can kind of see my brush strokes here. And what I'll do is I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'm going to do another coat because the teal's a little bit thin. But while that's drying, and here's the thing, these little black streaks and stuff, all that's going to dry. And then when I do my second coat, I'll be able to cover that up and it won't even show. So that's why I wasn't too concerned about that. I do want to go in and add some cool colors into, well, I should say some warm colors if we're being artistically correct here with our terminology. Um, but I'm going to add some warm colors here that'll really shine out and look different than our bright blue background. And I think I'm going to do kind of a red-orange. So I don't have red-orange already, so I'm just going to take red and orange. So there you go. Yes, the best way to make red-orange is to take red and orange and mix them together. And of course, I have another orange, but this one's going to be noisy. So pardon my paint bottle. Oh, lovely. Anyways, all right, so let me mix this up. So I'm going to take some of the red first and put it into the orange because I say this all the time, but it's important to remember that it's always easier to mix the dark color into the lighter color. You don't have to, but for me, it's, you can always make it darker, but it's seemingly harder to make it lighter in my experience. So I'm going to get a little bit of orange there. So see, I have a lot of red left, but I don't really feel like I want any more red in it. I like this shade already. So this is a good shade of red orange. It's bright and fun, and let's use it. And I'm just using a small flat brush again. This painting could be done on a larger canvas. You just adjust the size of your brushes, use larger brushes on a larger canvas. But for these little pocket ones, I like to create a sample on a small one and then, work out any of the kinks or details. Sometimes I'll think about a painting for a long time before I actually get it onto the canvas. I have one I'm working on a commission right now, and I've been thinking about it, like which colors I want to use and what I want to do. And I started it today, so I'm excited for that because I will be able to finish it because it's been in the back of my mind. And I'm the type of person that if I have something on my mind, I'll keep thinking about it until it's actually like done. So I am first to admit I am a worrier to the max. And not just worry, but I just overthink things. Does anybody else out there overthink things? You an overthinker? With a painting like this, I'm just making it up as I go. So this is a really good exercise for somebody like me who tends to overthink because I'm just putting the paint down on the canvas. I can't really overthink it. I've given myself a time limit here and we're going to see how it turns out. So far I'm liking the colors. You know what I realized? I need to put some blue back here. So I'm going to do that really quick while my blue is still wet. Because I forgot, this is like a little porch here, so we would see the other side. Here we go. Okay, there, that's a little better. Almost looks a little bit Dr. Seuss-ish, I think, in his style of artistry. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just checking my picture here. I want to do some bright yellow. So I got that there. Okay, I already put it on there. I got distracted by the blue. Easily distracted. Let's do some bright yellow. And I think I'm going to make it kind of a yellow orange. I'm going to take a little bit of this right here, whoops, and mix that in. I could do it with my palette knife. I'm just doing it with the brush here. I just need a little bit. I don't need that much. So I've got kind of a yellow orange here. I think that's a pretty cool color. Let's go ahead and paint this in. The yellow is thin, so I might need 2 layers of this. I think I might also use some of this over here on the little roof coming out, our little porch for our birdies. And let's look at some more colors. Oh, let's see. We could do, could probably do like a tealish, a tealy green, even though my background is really teal. I'm gonna create maybe a shade of green to do with this. So let me try this. I have this, it's, oh, I could do a couple greens. Okay, this is phthalocyanine green. It's kind of almost, it's got a touch of blue in it. It like if you mix it with white, it ends up looking kind of bluish, minty-ish, if that's a word, minty-ish. This is Rose from the Painted Toad, and I'm making up words. So we got the phthalocyanine green, and then I'm going to take and mix a little bit of this teal. You really see how dark it's kind of dark. So let me mix a little bit. Oh no! Okay, still had some orange on my mixing knife, apparently. Okay, so I don't want the orange in there because that will make a funky color when I mix it, so I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna get some more of my blue, and we're gonna try this again. There we go. And I'm gonna make sure this is off. Okay. I'm gonna take just a tad of this green and mix it in with the blue just to see what shade I can get, or what hue. So it's still pretty blue. I want it to be more green. Let me add more green in there. It's almost kind of a nice jade color. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. Very bohemian. That's a really pretty, isn't that lovely? See, look at those three colors. They just look so cool. Now, is it going to blend in too much with my background? Well, we'll find out. I can always add some details and outlining and things like that. So let's find out how it works out here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it for my in-between here. So it's kind of sandwiched between this yellow-orange color. I like this color. It's very pretty. And then on the top, I want to do something with a bright green. So I'm going to take, I've got another green here. Might have to open my other one. Let me see. Is this one open? It's cadmium green. All right, I'm going to use this one. I should probably just throw that other one away. I don't know why I keep empty bottles. Does anybody else do that when they're painting? Hang on to empty bottles? I don't know why I do that. So I've got this cadmium green, and then I'm going to mix some yellow with that because I want like a real bright, springy green, I guess we could say. So let me do this. Do some yellow. And I'm going to mix the green in with the yellow. Lots of mixing tonight. So I should get a really nice, bright green, which I think will be a super fun color. There we go. Let me grab my brush here. Just need to clean out that other color. Make sure my brush is nice and dry. Don't want a big drip of water coming down into your paint. And then I'm going to paint this bright green, which really contrasts very nicely with the background. There we go. That's super fun. I like that green. I'm also going to use some of that green over here. Just using the edge of my flat brush. Could get a smaller brush, but I'm just going to use the edge of it. Not too worried about being in the lines, because I will go back over and repaint my lines in at the very end. Touch them up a bit, so don't worry too much about going over. And if you get too much on it, then just make a wider bottom. Okay, and what else? Let me get the rest of my base coats on. So I need a tad of white. I don't know why my throat is so dry today. It's probably the weather. It keeps changing back and forth. Causing issues with my sinuses and my allergies. See my thumb? Getting into it. If you don't get messy, you're not having fun. So you may wonder, why are you painting that white when it's already white? Well, this is just gesso that's on the canvas. So I always paint white over the white gesso because the paint basically seals the canvas, if you think of it like that. Okay, and then our little chimney. What color should we do for that? I feel like that could, you know what, maybe I'll do that white as well. And I'm going to use a smaller, well, now I'll just use my flat brush. I'll just use the edge of it again. And we'll go in like this. Ooh, I thought of something else too that I could do. I could do like a really fun stripy pattern or something. I'll have to think about it here. Maybe I will. Okay, so now that I've got most of this all painted in, I'm going to go back in now and I'm going to paint the background one more time to get rid of some of these brush strokes and the parts where my black got pulled in from the outline that I painted. For future reference, I probably should have painted my birdhouse outline with the color that I was doing the background with. So that's a little trick. That way you don't have to worry about stuff like that getting pulled into your paint. But that's all right. I didn't think of it till now. So while that's drying, I'm going to have a little fun with, well, no, I'm not. I'm actually going to paint a couple more layers. I keep looking at this and like, oh, I do need one more layer of that, another layer of that. I'm just going to switch brushes. I'm tired of cleaning that one. Let me see here. Where is my other? I just bought some brushes the other day too because I was there and I saw them and they looked wonderful. And I bought paint too that I probably didn't need, but they were pretty, so I bought them. I have a plan for them. It's hard to go into. It wasn't even the craft store. It was just a regular store, Meyer. They have some decent paints there. So I got some paints the other day. Pretty colors. Got like a deep magenta, a real pretty periwinkle blue. And what else did I get? It was like a lavender, silver paint. So I've got plans for those paints too. There we go. Okie dokie. One more layer on my other ones so they're not streaky. let's see, I'll do my light green first. That's lighter. I'm just using a small flat brush here. This is just a 5x7 painting, so it's very small. I don't know if you caught my other little tutorial I did earlier this week. I did a really small, here I'll show you, really small detailed little boutique. So if you want to learn how to do this one, it's on my YouTube page. I did the whole thing and uploaded it to the YouTube page. So you can learn how to do that one. I have like a super speed, but you can't learn from that. But I have this slow, full tutorial. It takes a long time to paint it because I did so many details. That's the one I'm painting tonight, but I'm doing it with younger kids, so I'm actually going to paint it a little bit different because we only have an hour to paint. So I don't want to overwhelm them with all that detail, though some of them would be capable of it. It's just a matter of not having enough time in our class to do it. And then this color here, that actually went on really good. So I don't think I need to add any more red orange. I think it looks bright enough, but these other colors were looking a little streaky. Oh, I forgot to do green down there. Okay. Some of that stuff is still wet. So while that is drying, I'm going to go in here and have some fun. And I'm going to make this a double-decker birdhouse. So we're going to have, oh, you know what we should do? Let's do like a fun, kind of an Eastern shape here for the opening. Since we are going Bohemian, let's make it look Bohemian. I could do round like that. That looks kind of cool. See? I love it. Okay. And then I feel like up here I need another little, maybe a smaller opening up at the top. And now to do some fun patterns. So I'm just going to look at my reference photo. I'm looking at some Bohemian fashion, different styles. So they do lots of color, lots of patterns. So that's what I'm going for. All right, let's do some patterns here. Oops. Okay. I would like to I want to add kind of a fun something or other going along here. So I want it to stand out. I think I'm going to do some white just on my round brush. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of my round brush, because sometimes the brush will just blob and then it's annoying because it's not what you wanted. I'm going to take, I've got a wooden skewer or a toothpick works great, or the end of a pencil. And we're just going to do some pattern on here. It's just easier to use something like this to get dots, because sometimes the brush, if you push a little too hard, then it makes a bigger blob and it's kind of annoying. So when you want a little more control, you can use something like this skewer or a toothpick or a pencil, like I said, to dab your little designs on something. did that come from? That part of... I think it was like a little sliver off the end of this. I think I need a new skewer. It's starting to fall apart on me. That looks cute. I'm going to use my small flat brush again and create some stripy patterns. Oh, there's one little hair sticking out of this brush. Do I have my scissors? Well, here's a trick. I don't know where my scissors are. They're not where they belong. If you get a little hair sticking out of your brush, I would just trim it off, give it a little haircut. Otherwise, that little hair is going to leave, it's going to get paint on it, and then it's going to paint something in some funky spot. Ah! Just dipped in white. What am I doing? Pay attention. I'm talking to myself, not you. And then I think it would be cute. I'm going to do some little stripes going up here too. I'm going to use a smaller brush for it though, because it's a skinnier spot. All right, what else can we add? How about we do some bright? I'm going to keep this, I'm just using a liner brush here, doing some details. I'm going to add some other patterns up here. I'm going to use some of this red orange on the green because we can get a real nice contrast. Oh, what kind of design should I do? Lines. Yeah, it might be sweet just bringing those all the way down. Let me just do some stripes. I think that would look kind of cool. Oh, I have a little stray hair on this brush too. My lines are a little crooked, but I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, you can always let it dry, try it again. But I don't mind, as long as I keep these. I'm getting a little annoyed with this brush though. I probably need to soak it or in some boiling water. If your brush tips get kind of curved and messed up, you can dip them in boiling water and it'll straighten them right out. So I think I need to do a little brush care on some of my brushes. Just adding a color to the roof edge here. There we go. All right. What about our other things? This green is still dry. I want to do something with it, that bluish green, but I can't because it's still wet. So I'll have to come back to it. But what about this right here? I could take, actually I'll take some of that bluish green and we'll do something on this one too. I'm just gonna do a little pattern here. I could use my skewer again, but since I got the brush going, I'm just going to use that. But if you liked the dot effect with the skewer, you can totally do that. I don't know if I like those polka dots. We'll see. Once you break it up, I'm going to put little circles in there too, like other little openings. And I think that'll help it. I do want to add more color on this orangey part here though. So I'm just going to bring a line in and around this. There we go. I think that looks kind of cool. And then I'm going to bring some of the bright green. I'm kind of bringing all the colors together in here. How about some of this bright green to go around this one? Let's see if I can get that to cooperate. Doo -doo. There we go. Not perfectly even, but I like it. Looks good to me. Need some more color. All right, so now let's get some more color on here. What if I did, I've still got some of this yellow orange left, so I'm going to bring some of that in here. Now this doesn't show up a ton. It shows up a little bit. I might do maybe outline it or something to get it to show up a bit more. because it's so close to the red orange. You don't get a lot of contrast. So sometimes, if that's the case, you can always go back over and add a little outline to it later. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add some little, almost like little jewels or something hanging off the end of these. Little dangles. I think that looks super cute. That would be super, oh, that would be cute down here too. Okay, I'm getting all sorts of ideas. All right, so let's see here. What else can we make? This is so exciting. The little things like this makes me very happy. Just having fun creating. I feel like there would be like little party lights down here. Add some green down there. Get a little color. They don't show up too much on the background, but that's okay. And let's see, we'll get some of that bright yellow while I still have it, that yellow orange. There's a little bit of that color down here too. Some fun little colors here. Is it still wet? Still wet. Here's what I'm gonna do. Take my finger and just pull off some of that extra paint, waiting for it to dry. Hi, it's Rose again. I hope you're enjoying this painting. And if you want to finish, make sure you catch part 2 of the Bohemian Birdhouse. I'll see you in a few.